Hello, and welcome back to our knitting space. I'm Jocelyn,
And I'm Diana.
and we are coming to you from the province of Manitoba, from Winnipeg in the village.
Woo!
Everyone's getting super excited. We're the Northern Knits Podcast, and we're saying hello and welcome back to everybody who's joining us again, and hi and howdy and welcome and all the good friendly Manitoban greetings if you've never been to the podcast before. Hope you enjoy mostly knitting. I'm not going to say we don't wander.
We dabble in other fibery endeavors.
I get completely off topic, but mostly knitting. It's a knitting podcast. We do talk about knitting, so this is, I feel, key to mention up front. So we are enjoying the sunny, summery weather.
Well, today it's summery. It hasn't been for the last week.
Well, it was still June. As the person who doesn't super enjoy all the super hot weather, I really enjoyed the rainy, cool BC-like weather we had. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I was saying on the weekend we were having some lovely fall weather.
Yes, we were. We were having excellent fall weather. It's a few months too soon, that's all.
Yeah.
For most people, anyway. I'd be okay if we bypassed summer and went straight to fall, but that's me. Diana, why don't you tell everybody what we're going to do during the show today?
We will be covering What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Yarn on the Go, Fiber Flubs, So Little Time, Events, and a book review.
Woohoo!
What are you drinking today?
Oh, we're totally opening it up with the sound of me popping that pop can.
Absolutely.
I discovered a new ginger ale. Ooh.
It's
good.
It's
not as interesting to everybody else as it is to me, but it's the blackberry ginger ale. And ginger ale comes out, like the Canadian Dry guys, come out with different flavors. I'm not a huge fan of the holiday cranberry flavor. Like, I have some and it's okay, but it's better as a base for punches and stuff than on its own. But this blackberry ginger ale, oh yeah.
It's good.
Oh, I tried some yesterday and I bought a case today. So, yep, 2 thumbs up. That is currently what I'm drinking besides water.
I am also drinking the same, and I might steal more of Jocelyn's beverages because delicious.
Absolutely.
Delicious berry goodness.
They're so tasty. It's hilarious. Which is good because I haven't liked all of the flavored stuff that comes out, so I'm happy to have discovered a flavor that I enjoy. So, on the bright side, it also makes for a quick What's in Our Cup. Since it's not a cup, it's a can. Why don't we dive into Woolly Workings?
Cool Threads.
Oh, Cool Threads.
Yes.
Cool Threads. Oh my goodness. It's end of June and we're talking about cool threads. We must have had a cold weather snap.
We were just saying we've been having some lovely fall weather this summer.
Beautiful. No, don't get me wrong. I love them rainy, cool days. It also means I don't have to water my garden. Bonus.
I still have to water my stupid plants. They're on the balcony.
Yeah, mine are in the backyard, so they'll get watered when nature decides to rain, so it works for me. I was given that we were, highs of 12 or 10 over the weekend.
Highs of chilly.
Well, I don't know. I think that's perfectly acceptable temperature-wise.
Chilly for the end of June.
Okay, that's fair. I was wearing my coffee shop shawl, which was super nice to be able to bust that bad boy out in the middle of the summertime and wear it and be comfortable in it. And I was enjoying that with a lightweight sweater and my socks and shoes. I don't know, I'm a cool weather person. We're 27 was the high today?
I don't know what the high was. I didn't look.
I'm not looking forward to Canada Day, because it's Canada Day on Saturday.
Woo!
Isn't that exciting? Celebrating Canada's birthday. There's a lot of stuff going on because it's the 150.
Mm-hmm.
The big 150. It's a huge deal.
Before I get too off track, I should say my cool threads.
Absolutely.
So since it's been all cool and rainy, I grabbed my cool rainy hat, which is my blue self-striping sockhead slouch hat. And I realized that even though I finished it well over a year ago, probably close to maybe even 2 years ago now,
Yeah.
I'd never really taken a proper finished object picture of it.
Oh.
So I was out at the lake this weekend, and I took a bunch of pictures of it finally.
Oh, good.
So, a year and a half, 2 years after the fact, I will have some proper finished object photos in that project.
Well, better late than never, I guess.
Yeah.
That's okay. I've got a couple shawls sitting that need to be blocked that also do not have proper. I've been done knitting them for a while now. Eep. Oh well, it's how things work.
You were talking about Canada 150.
Canada turns 150, sorta.
Sorta. The government says it does anyway.
I think they're basing it on the timeline since we had all the provinces and territories, except for the super new one, which is only like 9 years old.
Yeah. So, I mean, Canada in its current state is like 9 years old. I thought it was like 10 years old now.
Have we had none of it for 10 years now?
Because I remember...
Oh, must have been... It's got to be more than 10 years, because...
Yeah, it's definitely more than 10
10
years, because I remember they were talking about it when I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah, no, well, my parents did the voting for Iqaluit to be the capital city of Nunavut, and so that would have been before I was 12, because we moved down south. That's right, Manitoba's south for me, folks. We moved down south to Brandon, Manitoba, just before my 13th birthday. And I'm older. For anybody who wishes to do the math, I graduated high school in 2001. You're welcome, math people.
And now we can play the Make Jocelyn Feel Old game.
Oh,
I graduated in 2009.
Dear heavens. That's okay. My partner graduated after me too, because he's also younger. Oh, man. That's fine. But yeah, no, so it's exciting. We got a lot of stuff coming up this weekend. And a lot of people doing Canada Day sales for Canadian pattern designs, yarn. So, I'm going to take full advantage of that and get myself some pretty new yarn to knit with.
Oh, I saw Wolseley Wool was posting pictures. They got their National Parks yarn in.
I know. I so wanted to pre-order the entire range.
Oh, I didn't.
So badly.
I kind of wanted to, but I wasn't like super sold on it. Now I've seen those pictures and I'm like, aw, regrets.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
I don't need $200 of yarn.
I couldn't justify it, but the temptation was really high. Really high, guys. So, that's fine. Maybe I'll see if I can try to go pick up one of the ones that are for the northern parks.
Yeah.
Because those are in those super nice ice blues that I really, really like. See if I can go grab a skein or two of that. A lot of the other colors, the other reason I did is a lot of them are in the really dark browns to black range, which is just not viable for me to knit at a fingering weight. But I do have that amazing curls book to knit through.
Yeah.
So I could justify a skein or two of that national park yarn pretty
Yes,
darn
you
easy. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Planning to make myself poorer. What? Everyone's got goals in life. Mine is to insulate my house with yarn.
Solid goal. I support this goal.
Hey, it's a thing.
I mean, it's important. It gets cold here.
It does. So, no.
It's
But
important
that's
to build a nest.
You know what? It really is. Everybody might be going, hey, all Jocelyn does is work on shawls. A lot of them are worsted weight shawls for a reason, folks. You need it. It gets cold. Alright, that's our cool threads. Shall we do some woolly workings?
Yes, let's discuss some woolly workings.
Because guess what, guys? Super big story time. I was working on my starting point shawl.
Oh, this story.
And we'll get into why we're no longer working on the starting point shawl in Yarn on the Go.
Oh, it's a story.
It's a story.
It's a story for the ages.
I've officially lost no fancy coffee for Jocelyn. Entirely not my fault, but no fancy... Well, it's my fault. No fancy coffee for Jocelyn. That's fine. I've put the shawl aside for a moment because I have to, and I'm going to take photos and start looking at everybody else's shawls and planning my next one because I really freaking enjoyed that shawl. I'm going to make it again and make it in a different colorway because I can. So I was doing that, and that was a Hoki pattern. So that was okay. I have the pattern. I can do it again. Not a problem. But I've worked on like 50 billion other things roughly since then. Diana, how many projects have you been working on?
I have been working very lots on 2 things.
Oh, in which case, I'll keep going.
Yes, by all means, keep going.
So I got frustrated when I realized I couldn't continue with the starting point shawl. And I decided, nope, I needed to go back to worsted weight. I primarily work in worsted weight. So for fun, I'd been out to Michael's with my niece, and we'd picked up some balls of yarn because they looked pretty and she liked them. This is generally how I get to trouble at Michael's or anywhere with my niece. She's a great enabler. Take any podcaster, YouTuber, you name it, I got someone who's better. My niece. She's excellent at spending my money on all the things she doesn't want to do but wants things out of. So we picked up some Lion Brand Landscapes yarn in Sahara Desert. And it is this wonderfully variegated, super soft, squishy, mostly acrylic yarn.
It looks very lovely. I'll knit up.
It is quite beautiful. I don't mind knitting with it, even though it splits quite a bit. I think that's just because of the loose of the twist.
Like it's a pretty loose twist.
It's a very loose twist, so that's fine. It just means I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. But I decided I had one extra skein left over of the Super Soft Essentials Red Heart yarn from the textured triangle knit along that we did. And I really enjoyed working in the white, that I was going to cast on another one. So I picked up a couple of balls of the landscape yarn, and I picked up one extra ball of the white in the Soft Essentials, and I am finishing section 3, and I started on Friday.
I feel a sense of superiority arising from that direction.
Might be some bragging.
Because here I sit, working on still the same texture triangle shawl. Which, I would like to note, I have technically finished.
This is true, you have technically finished.
I finished section 4 on the weekend, but it's not very big, and I have lots more yarn left, so I'm just going to keep going. So it's technically finished. I'm just still knitting on it, making it bigger, because I'm using smaller yarn. But yeah, you're on your section 3, and I'm still here on the same first shawl that was supposed to be done a month ago.
I finished the first shawl on time. I even did a purple one that I've almost finished, and I just literally need to finish the last couple rows of and be done.
So you're gonna have 3 of this shawl.
Yep.
Before I've finished one, is what you're saying.
Yep.
So Diana's bad at knit-alongs. Diana doesn't get to do knit-alongs anymore.
Well, I think you can do them. We're just going to have to do the open-ended ones where you finish when you finish. And it's at your own pace. So you also have a bit of a busier lifestyle than I do.
In that I have to go to work every day?
I don't know if I'd say that, because I do work the
well,
same
sorry,
amount
no,
each
that sounds
week.
like I'm implying that I work and you don't. No.
Yeah.
I have to commute.
To work, yeah, I gain
Where
some time
I
in your commuting, and I don't.
Don't get to knit at all day, except for maybe a little bit at lunch.
Yeah, and your parents live here in the province, so you spend time with them. My parents live out of the province, so my time with them is quite limited, and it doesn't happen very often, so I don't lose time with that. I mean, I'm also not getting married, so I'm not making those plans.
Yeah.
I'm not visiting with my brother who's in town for the summer because he's off from university. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's catching your attention that doesn't really catch mine. So, there's that.
Everything just needs to stop, and I need to have miles of knitting time.
Good luck?
Yep.
Allergies. Just kicking my butt.
So there's one of the things that I'm working on. What other billion things are you working on that's so many more things than I'm working on?
Well, I've been freed from that fingering weight shawl, which, if we're honest, I was motoring. It was like 2.5, 3 weeks in, and I had done 4 weeks worth of fingering weight knitting.
Yeah. So you motored on that.
I was making huge amounts of progress, so I don't doubt that is at all. I decided I had to keep up the shawls, so it is shawls all the way, nothing but the shawls, mostly because I don't have really anything else on my needles at the moment. I will shortly, but that's more in events. So I decided to pick up and start my bendy arrow shawl.
Which, I mean, it doesn't look like much at the moment.
Well, there's only like 14 rows.
But it feels magical.
Oh, that's the summer silk. I'm doing it in a Barocco summer silk in a white cream color. And the second color for the bendy arrow shawl, if you haven't seen it on Ravelry, odds are really good you've probably seen it, is being done in a hedgehog fiber sock base in the colorway Poison, which is a really dark black red to sort of dark deep cherry red color. It is beautiful contrasting colors. It's going to knit up amazingly well. But the summer silk feels so nice. I knew it was going to. It felt really nice in the skein because it's quite soft and pettable. So I knew it was going to feel nice being knitted up. Oh my god, guys. It's so pretty. I can't wait to be farther along. It isn't a pattern I can quite travel with yet. It's small enough, but I have to pay a bit too much attention to be comfortable taking it out yet. I need a couple more repeats before I'm really into what I'm doing. So, that's fine. Give me a few more repeats and then it'll be traveling with me for a week or so, and then boom, like magic, I'll be done.
Poof.
Poof. Poof. Well, my goal is to have it so I can wear it to do stuff in early fall, so gotta get her done. Gotta get her done.
Yep.
Nope. I also have been working on, I know,
So many things.
so many things. I got freed up. Oh, just wait.
You started things, so I'm gonna have to actually link new things in the show notes.
I did start things.
I can't just copy from the previous week.
I know. You don't get to be lazy this time, my dear.
Ah.
I'm sorry. Not so sorry?
It was
Kinda
so easy
sorry?
doing the show notes for the last one because we were talking about the same stuff in the previous week, so I pretty much just
All the
copied and modified a
pastes.
little bit, and
Yep,
that was
it
like
happens. I picked up my Renya shawl.
Ooh, that's...
Double checked to make sure where I was going with that.
Haven't talked about that one in a long time.
We haven't. I had put it down because I was busy doing other things, and that was totally fair because this is one of those ones I'm doing on my own. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by Nora Laivola. It's Laivola. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure if the I is silent or not.
I don't know.
I don't know. So I picked that up and I'm working on the red color. I'm doing it in a Bernay premium yarn because I'm hoping that my mom will like it and accidentally take it from me. I like giving my mom stuff, so that's fine. With any luck, she does, and that happens to wander away. And I'm doing it in a red and a black tweed. So I'm really excited. I should update and do some photo updates by the weekend. I'm hoping to have enough done that I can show some progress on the Renya one. I only have one other thing I have been working on. So why don't we talk about your other thing you've been working on?
My other thing is, as always, the Belrose Shawl. This is a pattern by Martina Bain from her Stricknick Club. It is not available yet. I think it'll be available in August or September. And that came along with some Sheep en Soie yarn in Remembering Rose.
Ooh. It's a really pretty pink, guys.
It is a very pretty pink. You are very excited for your Christmas present?
I am so excited.
For it is not a pink that I enjoy wearing.
Oh, just with my white winter coat, or my purple fall coat, or even my blue spring coat, like how gorgeous is that pink gonna pop on those colors?
I'm just thinking more about skin tone, because I am a very pink sort of Caucasian.
Oh, no, I'm beige.
So, pink, a rosy-colored yarn next to rosy-colored skin, not so attractive.
No, I'm beige all the way.
So, you can have the lovely pink yarn.
Works for me. Woohoo! A professionally hand-knit artisan item from Diana? Ha!
Yeah.
I'd love to. Thanks, man. I'm super excited for that. So, that's everything we've been working on, which, in my case, will be changing again, because it's all about the change. You guys, I spent 5 hours organizing my knitting on the weekend. Everything has its own individual project bag. Everything has all the patterns upscaled and printed. Everything's got all the charts worked out. I have all the matching needles and backup yarns and yarn bands in there. And it's all sorted by what I'm currently working on, what I'm going to be working on next. I got my short list. I organized my books and magazine stacks.
Wow.
I organized. It is so spiffy. I still can't find anything. It is so spiffy. It is ridiculous. And I'm fully using all of the under my coffee table space. And all of my storage space in my walk-in closet. Oh, I forgot to write down that I was working on my 365 project.
Oh, wow.
Ah, man, I had one extra. I am sorry. I have 2, not 1. I continued for new listeners who may not be aware, I am doing the 365 Days of Granny Square Challenge. Because I'm crazy and decided this year I wanted to learn how to crochet. And not just know how to single and double crochet. I wanted to be able to say, I'm a crocheter. With confidence. Like, I knit. Like, it's a thing that I do. It's my thing. Like, book reading and all the other stuff I do. So I decided that, and by me I mean a girlfriend of ours was like, hey, let's do this challenge. And I went, sure, that sounds easy.
And you're the only one that's actually stuck to it.
I think I am.
I also said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And I stopped somewhere around 60-something.
I'm almost at 2. I don't even know what day we're on anymore. I don't even pay attention. I just sort of do the video and move on. I have not updated my Ravelry in so long it's not even funny. That is a massive undertaking. I'm going to have to do that. Maybe when my niece is off on summer vacation, we can spend a day taking photos and getting them uploaded. She can help me do that. She's a lot faster than I am at those things. Being, 10 and fully sighted.
Yeah.
That seems to help a bunch.
Also, she's cheap labor. I bet you can pay her an ice cream.
I do pay her an ice cream and Pop-Tarts and cheese toast. So
Yep.
her favorite thing to have for dinner is cheese toast and chicken noodle soup. So we make homemade chicken noodle soup and have cheese toast a lot for dinner.
That works. Cheap labor.
She helps spot things and helps me pick up things. And she also charges cheap labor for use of the computer. So she can look up stuff for her Harvest Moon on her Game Boy.
Right.
Yep, so she can make sure she's fulfilling all the quotas and stuff properly, so that's fine. It works for me. Her early wake-up calls are sometimes distressing for my brain, because it's kind of creepy to wake up and open your eyeballs and there's a 10-year-old staring at you. Informing you of what time it is, because that's her way of telling you you've slept too late. It's Annie Jocelyn, and she proceeds to give you the time, as though, hello. In that teenage voice of, what are you doing?
How could you not know what time it was?
Is. Yeah, I'm like, were you like 15 or 10? Like, how old are you, kid? So it's fine. But with her off on summer break, we'll be doing a lot of wandering around. So we might even see me in some of the photos on Instagram. My niece might be taking the photos.
Gasp.
Shocking. It's become a thing. Like, I am never in any of the Instagram photos. Have you noticed? It's all you.
Well, you come along and take those stealth photos.
I do. I'm really good at those stealth photos, though. They turned out well.
They did. I actually had no idea you were taking that one.
That's what you get for not paying attention to me.
I was mathing.
Oh. If you haven't had a chance to check out the Instagram, we're referencing a photo where Diana was doing the math for the Find Your Fade shawl when she was picking up the last skein of yarn she needed for that when we were at Wolseley Wool recently. And didn't notice me because I'd been knitting on my starting point shawl.
I noticed you pulled out your phone. I didn't notice you take a picture.
Well, everybody pulls out their phone all the time, so, and in my case, I pull out my phone to use the magnifying app on the phone a lot, so, like, nobody really ever knows what I'm doing on my phone. Any number of things could be happening. So I had taken a picture of her doing her math, and I posted that photo one day, because it turned out really well. It looked so good. So, I've been continuing work on the crochet project, and the only other thing I've done, which I'm not going to go into super detail with because it belongs in fibre flubs, is my Happy Hands Fingerless Mitts, which I only had the thumb gusset to finish.
Oh dear. This is going to be a good story, I can tell.
Shake fists ineffectively. Anger. It's
Anguish.
In black yarn.
Oh.
Man. Jocelyn's allowed to buy black yarn, guys.
Okay.
And we have to beg Diana and possibly bribe her with bakery to get her to rescue her. Literally, during the bind off. I will say no more until we reach fibre flubs.
Alright. And we are on to Yarn on the Go.
Woohoo!
I think you have much more going, so do I want to do my short go first, maybe?
Sure.
Okay, my short go is that I took all my active projects out to the lake and took pretty pictures.
Why not?
So those will be showing up on Pinterest, Instagram, and Ravelry shortly.
That's exciting. I saw, yeah, because you posted the first one. It looks good.
Yeah, so
there's
another week or possibly 2 weeks, depending on how frequently I post, worth of pictures.
Cool. Works for me. My yarn on the go has to do with traveling around the city, because what do? travel around the city. So let's get to the starting point shawl.
Yes.
I'm sure everyone's been on tenterhooks. I was really, really pushing this shawl. I think I worked on it for 3 weeks, and I'm just about finished all of my clues. I was into clue 4 as of the last recording, and I ran out of yarn. After my moment of, why did you not double check your yardage before you bought the cotton yarn instead of the wool fingering yarn, which would have a different meterage, a different yardage, did you not pick up a second skein immediately knowing you were going to have this problem? My brain didn't think that way, because apparently my brain doesn't think that way. So, okay, I figured this out on Thursday. Friday, I went down, and I had to drop off a book here, so I said, Friday afternoon, okay, I gotta be down in the village anyway. Let's go over to Wolseley, which the Wolseley area is where Wolseley Wool is located. It's very handy. And pop in and hope that they have my skeins. They had 2 of the 4 I needed.
Oh, dear.
And they didn't even have the white, which was the color I was at in both parts of the shawl.
Oh,
Then I
no.
move into color 3, which I have enough of, so I could have continued working on the shawl. But they had the darkest blue, so color 4, and color 5. I still needed them, so I picked them up and I ordered the other 2. But I am at the mercy of the yarn ordering gods now, and can do nothing until those other 2 skeins shows up.
You'll have to make some sacrifices to the yarn gods.
Anybody
Speed your purchase along.
Anybody know of some good tree spirits that might help me out with this one? I am stuck. So I couldn't sacrifice the needles because I don't have that many needles. I have a fair number, but I don't have that many, especially in the smaller gauges. I have exactly 2 sets of 4mm needles. I don't knit in fingering weight very often. So I had to put all of those stitches, and this is not a small shawl for anybody who's either seen the pictures or knitted the thing. It's huge, and I love it. I love that it's so big. I had to pull them off and put them on scrap yarn, so I have active stitches on scrap yarn tied in a knot, so I don't lose them, and I have it all tucked away till the 2 skeins come in. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness.
That's a saga.
I was such an unhappy camper. I was so mad. I think I texted you. I was so irritated. I was like, rage.
Rage.
No, I wanted to finish this, so I lost out on coffee. My fault. Ultimately, my fault for not double checking my yardage. Yet still, I'm going to rage
Always
ineffectively.
check your math.
Oh, man. Hindsight, 2020, right?
Yep.
Even mine. I know. Bad joke. So the starting point shawl is on hold until further notice. The moment I get that cotton yarn in, I am winding those skeins and we are off to the races, and I am finishing that shawl.
I believe you.
Oh, the moment it gets in, I am dropping everything, and that's what we're working on, because it will be done. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I went from 4 inches plus a week in progress to nothing. Nope.
There is so much rage over there.
Not
It's
happy.
dangerous.
Not happy. So, that was fine. I got to check out the yarns at the store, which was always good, because if you remember from last week, I did say I was going to knit my way through the Curls book. Part of the reason I went on the yarn organizing spree that I did was to find all of my single skeins of yarn and pull them aside. So, I was sort of checking out my options in the city before I went home. I didn't buy anything. I just picked up the 2 that they had. I will be going back and buying more because I have to pick up more fine fade shawl colors and stuff. So there's things to do, purchases that need to be made. It's a thing that happens.
Yep.
However, my yarn on the go is that my shawl took its last trip for a while, down to the local knitting store, and then home again, sadly.
So sad.
If I'd had the yarn, I would have wound it here while I was here on Friday. Like, I would have been like, yeah, we can chat all you want. Must wind yarn! It would have been my primary goal. Oh, well, it's a thing. The other thing on the yarn on the go is I'm going to be a test knitter. Ooh, that's
Yay.
exciting. I'm going to be a test knitter for the, if you don't watch them, they're on YouTube. It's the Cozy Up with the Stitchin' Sisters. It's a group of 4 sisters out in Grand Prairie, Alberta, which I lived in Grand Prairie, Alberta for a while, and I have family out in Grand Prairie, so I know exactly where it is. I've been watching their YouTube channel for a bit, and one of the sisters, Sarah, designs patterns. One of the patterns she's been designing is called the Mammoth Shaw. This shawl looks huge when they were showing it when it was done, and they have cabling up the spine and a beautiful cable edge at the bottom of a triangular shawl. So when they put the call out for test knitters, I was like, oh, yes, please, can I do that? That sounds amazing. And I got the pattern this morning, so I am officially a test knitter.
That's so exciting.
Get that done up. I don't know what yarn I'm going to pick yet. That's the other reason why shopping will be occurring in the next few weeks. There will be some acquisitions, folks. It's going to happen because that is a huge shawl, which means it should fit me lovely.
It will be gorgeous.
And it'll be a blanket unlike everybody else, but that's okay. Not a problem for me. So I cannot wait. Like, I have the pattern on me right now because I was ogling it before we started recording, and my brain's already like, what kind of yarn could I use? And all the different places I buy for yarn from, and I'm thinking about which colors I want, what I'm going to wear it with. I'm so excited. I must knit this thing. And I've already made one giant shawl in white, so it's not going to be in white. It's got to be a color. So now we just got to figure out what color. Now, they did the original knit in the Barocco vintage. Super tempted because Barocco does amazing yarns. They the line that did the summer silk yarn that I'm knitting my bendy arrow out of, that you have the summer silk of.
I do, yes.
Yeah, they do some wonderful yarns. So I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. I'm gonna do some. Maybe we'll take Diana out shopping. That's always fun, and we'll see if we can track down some yarn for this shawl. It's a big shawl. I was looking at the meterage for it. Oh man. Oh man.
I'm excited to see this shawl and put it on my head when it's done.
Absolutely, because
and
we have a
take
tradition to maintain.
Yes. All finished objects must go on my head.
Sure. So, that
was yarn on the go?
That was yarn on the go. That was me going places with my yarn. I, again, only went to the store and we had nothing but disappointment, but my fault, not the store's fault. And the excitement of the new acquisitions to come, because I'm a test knitter. So happy. I love knitting in worsted weight yarns. I am so excited to do this. Super happy. Also, the girls sound absolutely delightful, and all of my interactions with them have been just amazing. Oh, so good. Anyway, yeah, no, that's all of our yarn on the go. Shall we move on? What's next?
Up next is fiber flubs.
Fiber flubs. Yet more Jocelyn screwing up.
I have a minor flub.
I have one moderate flub.
And
one normal startosis issue. Yeesh.
How about I do one in the middle?
Sure. May have heard me mention my Happy Hands Fingerless Mitts by the patterns by Jennifer V from the Craft Patch. This is not a complicated pattern, people. It was fine, it was easy, it was great, did it no problem. It was binding off on the thumb on the second mitten. So like, we are so close to being done, it's not even funny. So close. And I lost a stitch.
Oh.
And I didn't realize I'd lost a stitch till I'd finished the bind off. And it dropped like nobody's business.
Oh.
I have the mitts wrapped up. I'm hoping Diana can rescue me because it is in a black yarn.
Oh.
And if we know anything about black yarns and Jocelyn,
oh dear.
This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. This was drama. I was just nope. I was almost a phone the boyfriend upset kind of moment. Would not have understood. It would have been like, okay.
It's very upsetting.
So, hopefully, Diana can rescue it. Even if I have to do the whole thumb all over again, that's fine. Even just rescuing the stitches at the base, so I can do the thumb over again. That will be super helpful. And I can finish those up and have them, because I live in a basement, so it gets kind of cold. And having those fingerless mitts will help keep my wrists warm while I'm knitting, so. And come in handy in the fall. When I don't want mitts, but kind of want mitts.
I know the feeling.
Mm-hmm. So, here's hoping it can be rescued. But my first fiber flub is me trying to knit in black yarn. Woohoo!
Sad.
I don't buy black yarn anymore, if that helps anybody.
Well, my minor flub was working on the texture triangle shawl on the weekend. And it's a fairly mindless knit. So I was having a conversation while I was doing it.
Yep.
Got all the way to the end of the row and went, wait, did I do that second yarn over?
Uh-oh.
No, I didn't.
Oh, no.
I had to tink back half a row.
And at this point, that row is getting mighty long.
And at this point, I am technically done the shawl, so there is...
There'll be over 300 stitches now.
Something like that. I have the pattern right here. It can tell me how many stitches I theoretically have.
Absolutely.
I haven't counted, so I don't know.
Well, you're going higher on the pattern. Does it really matter at this point?
200 stitches.
So you have over 200 stitches.
So I had to tink back 100 stitches.
Yep, that's sad. Oh man, I hate it when that happens.
I was a little bit miffed at myself.
Well, yeah, because then you're just like, you needed to do it, and it didn't actually require all
There's
that
a stitch
extra
marker there and
bandwidth
everything to
to
tell me
you,
to do it,
yeah.
and I didn't do it.
Yeah. No, it's happened to me every once in a while, and I'm just like, bah. But you fixed it.
I fixed it.
Which is good. You don't need to be rescued like I do, so hey, there's that. And last but not least, didn't I just say I wasn't buying black yarn anymore?
Oh no, what did you do?
Well, if anybody has gone to Hedgehog Fibers and seen the Poison colorway, you may know
yes.
that the Poison colorway is a really, really dark black red to a deep red to a cherry red variegated yarn. It is a beautiful colored yarn, and it looks amazing against the cream white summer silk. I tried to start the Bendy Arrow shawl in color 1, which in my mind should be the dark color, because that's the color that's used in the pattern. So when you see the pictures, it's dark yarn first, and then the lighter color is color 2. Yeah. So about the 6th time, I'm trying to get all these tiny little black stitches on this shawl, which I'm starting on circulars, which is not a super strong suit for me yet. Still working on that one. I like starting on straight needles and transferring over. I went, nope, I'm done. Enough. Pulled it out. Started it in the white yarn. So I'm reversing color 1 and color 2. It's still going to look good. It's still going to be a Bendy Arrow shawl. It's just the arrow's white instead of...
And that's
dark
fine.
red. That's fine. Did it like a charm. Not a problem. Yeah. I'm like, really?
Okay.
Alright. So starting a shawl in a dark color is apparently not my forte right now. Got it.
So next time you pick up a dark color of yarn and go, pretty, pretty yarn!
Just make Jocelyn put it down. Just make me put it down.
I will say happy hands and bendy arrow.
Yeah. Just wait till I start knitting that navy blue sweater.
Yeah, and then I'll say the name of the sweater too, and you finally pick a pattern for that.
We're down to the final 2 candidates, folks. I will have a sweater on the go here shortly. I'll have 2 sweaters on the go here shortly, if I'm honest about it.
Ugh,
Woo! All the stuff.
You're beating me to a project type. I've never done a sweater.
I am. Why not? I've always wanted to do sweater. I live in a place where sweaters are super necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a sweater. So those are my fiber clubs. Jocelyn picking yarn because it is beautiful and forgetting that she can't see. Oh man.
Oh dear.
I sound so cheerful when we're talking about them on the pod. I'm so mad when they happen. I'm just grrr all the way.
Mm-hmm. And then you fume and you drink some tea and you go, okay, well,
I let it
podcast
go.
fodder.
Well, yeah, hey, podcast fodder. It's like learning experiences all at the end. All learning experiences. Like,
Yep.
Don't knit in black yarn. Apparently, I'm a very stubborn human being, and I'm not taking to this lesson very well.
There's so many other colors.
There's a wonderful range of colors for me to pick from. I'm apparently attached to the one that I shouldn't be attached to. What do I know? Oh well. That's our fiber flubs, unless you have any more that have popped up in your brain.
Nope.
Oh. Are we on to more me now?
We're on to more you. It's so little time. I didn't so much as think about sewing, so this is all you.
So remember how last week I was like, the Etsy store will be live? Nope.
I didn't get the text saying that the Etsy store was live.
Nope. So didn't happen, folks. Yep.
Yeah.
I've got enough to start. I'm good enough to get the first 10 listings up. I've been waiting on good lighting. Now I know. I need a light box. And there's some other stuff I could get that would make the point moot, and I could do it whenever I want. I am currently at the mercy of the sun, and we did not have a sunny weekend.
No, we did not.
No. And the first sunny day we had, I was out of the house all day doing other stuff. So, it is going to go live, but in the meantime, I have been working on other sewing things, because I can. So I'm still working on more project bags and more stuff for the Etsy shop, because I feel like that's important. But I've also started a couple of summer dresses.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Because I just look at my closet and I went, I don't like anything in here. So clearly that means I need to make more. So
Obviously, that's how that works.
So I was going through my patterns today, and I picked out a couple patterns for my dresses and found the material I wanted to use. So theoretically, I should have a couple of new summer dresses here shortly.
Nice.
Which will be exciting. And of course, your usual mending, the stuff that has to happen, the boring sewing stuff that occurs. And as always, more stuff for the Etsy shop. So hopefully, I get those photos taken and everything posted up so that by the time we talk next week, I have a live Etsy store.
Yeah? Yeah, for real?
For real. I'm saying it again. We'll see if I actually come through or not. Oh, man. But that is my so little time. I'm thinking I'm going to do a halter dress. So I've got a red polka dot patterned fabric in a wonderful lightweight cotton. And I have a beautiful pattern for a halter dress. I think it'll look quite good. I can make it a nice
adorable
mid-cocktail length. So even though I live in a province with many gusty winds, I'm still good. Yup. Always a wise decision. But yeah, that's it for my so little time. I have been doing sewing. It's a thing that occurs.
I will do that one day.
Okay.
Yep.
That's okay, I'm in the same boat for spinning, so. It happens.
Alright. Events.
Whew.
This is the part where I need to stop knitting and consult my phone, because I didn't write them all down this time, because they're just on my phone. Okay, so that one has passed, so I don't need to talk about that one.
Nope.
So, chronologically, the first thing is Stash Dash.
Stash
We are in that.
Dash. We are in it. How is that starting a new project and not finishing anything off your needles plan going for you?
Okay, no, I'm working on this thing. I'm trying to finish this stupid triangle shawl. You know what? I just never mind the fact that I started a Find Your Fade and a Distinction. I don't like how I started the Distinction. It's gonna get frogged.
Oh dear.
I was like 4 rows in.
Okay, so that's not too bad then.
Yeah, no, it's like half an hour of knitting.
Yeah,
I didn't do a very good job of reading my pattern before I started, and I did weird things, and yeah.
Yeah, no, that happens. It's totally fair.
So that one's gonna get frogged. So that one's not gonna count. So it won't be on my needles.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really into this Find Your Fade shawl, so I guess now that one has to get done too.
Yeah, you're gonna run out of time quickly, Pumpkin.
I need more hands so I can knit faster.
Okay. Cause your goal for Stash Dash was just an unofficial get stuff that's on your needles off your needles,
Finish the things on my needles.
With the exception of your wedding shawl.
Yes, because that behemoth is not getting finished. Well, it can't get finished until I have beads, and I'm not getting beads until I have a dress to match.
Which is fair, because we're not going dress shopping until later next month.
Yeah. Well, it's actually just in like 3 weeks.
Yep. So, I won't be long. Ooh, my. I'm going to take my yarn with us when we go dress shopping, because I'll have time while you're trying on dresses to knit.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have time. And I'll still get to be part of the dress shopping process, which is awesome. I'm so excited. I love dress shopping.
I hate dress shopping. Can we just trade places? I'll sit and knit and you can try on the dresses for me?
It's so not going to work because I'm not the one getting married. Point that out.
This is too much work. I changed my mind. I'm just going to elope.
Okay. You explain that to your family and his, and I support you 100%.
I already made the payment for the venue, though.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I think I'm locked in.
I think you're stuck, Pumpkin.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It happens. So, with Stash Dash underway, I'm going for 5 or 7K. as I am competing against myself, in the end, it doesn't matter where I end up doing. I'm just not quite ready to say, yes, this is as far as I'm going to get today, and no further. Or sort of have that stretch goal and sort of push to see if I could make it there or not. So I'm playing it safe, probably to about middle of July or so.
I will enter something in August when I have a better idea of what I'm actually going to finish.
Okay, that's fair.
Because so far I just have a pair of socks.
That's true. But that's Stash Dash for us.
Next, chronologically, I think, is Tour de Fleece.
Yes, because that's the 1st to the 23rd of July.
It is. It runs in conjunction with the Tour de France. The idea being kind of similar to Stash Dash, where you're trying to spin things. I think the idea is you're supposed to spin an entire project in that time.
I think that's the primary goal, yes.
But given that I don't really know how to spin, my goal is simply to spin every day, such that I learn how to spin.
That's fair.
Are you participating in Tour de Fleece?
I want to. I have yet to pick up a drop spindle. And it starts on Saturday.
Oh, wow, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
It is. So, if I do, it'll be in an unofficial capacity, but it'll be to teach myself to spin by the 23rd. So at the very least, I'm comfortable with the tools that I'm using, and I have spun some of my first bit of roving that I have.
Which I'm super jealous of.
I think I picked really pretty roving.
You did?
I mean, most people generally don't do anything with their first chunk of roving, so that's fine. I just really picked a color that appealed to me, so it works for me. But yeah, no, I'm hoping to. I need to find some time between now and Saturday, now being when we record on Tuesdays. Not a lot of time. To see if I can get down and get a spindle or order one and hope it comes in pretty quickly.
I believe they have some regular drop spindles in stock.
I hope so. So we'll see.
They typically do. If you want a Turkish one or something, I don't think they have those.
No, I think it's just the regular one. So
Yeah.
I might end up ordering mine, which is okay. Because I don't mind. If I have to order, I have to order. It's a thing that happens.
Yep.
But yes, Tour de Fleece till the 23rd. Woohoo!
Then you have some knit-alongs that you are doing, because I am bad at knit-alongs. You have the Grocery Girls Sweet Summer Cal and their Canada Cal.
I think yes, they're going to do a Canada knit along. Actually, a Canada craft along.
Canada Craft Along.
So you get an entry if you use a Canadian designer, a Canadian yarn, and have a Canadian name.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get up to 3 entries. I'm just aiming for 2 entries. Canadian designer and Canadian yarn, or even just one with Canadian yarn. That's fine with me. So I'm hoping to find a project that fits with one of my projects this summer and do it out of yarn I like to purchase anyway, which is the yarn that's local to me, of Canada.
Well, local is relative in Canada.
This is true.
We're like the 3rd biggest country in terms of landmass.
I think so, yes. I will participate in the fact that I do not have to cross an international border with my order.
Okay.
How does that sound?
That works.
Perfect. So I'm going to do that one. And their Sweet Summer Knit Along is for their Zadie Sweater, which they are doing in conjunction with Craftsy. And their series Off the Needles. I like boxy sweaters. I like worsted weight yarns. I like all of these options, and I like the pattern. It's got a little bit of lace detailing, or cable detailing at the raglan edges and the shoulders. And it's got a full-length sleeve. Now, here's the thing. I live in a part of the world where 3/4 length sleeves only make sense for 2 months of the year. And that's about it. A full-length sleeve you can wear for about half the year. Because you can push the full length up to a 3/4 length.
True.
But you cannot extend a 3/4 length into a full-length sleeve.
I see the wisdom.
So, I prefer my sweaters with full-length sleeves. So in that habit, I'm going to order in a size larger than I need in the kit pattern, so I have that extra ball of yarn for the not-so-short wingspan I run with.
Mm-hmm.
and the not so short height that I run with, so that I can extend the length of the boxy sweater a bit, so it hits me a bit better personally. Right at my waistband's not exactly an ideal location. I really need to be about an inch or two, possibly 3 inches lower than my waistband. So it's going to be a little bit of a variation on the style for the boxy sweater, but I'm certainly going to do the knit along, because that'll be quite a bit of fun.
I'm excited to see how this all comes together.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I haven't done
I
a
was looking
raglan
at the
sweater.
kits. I don't have the commitment for a sweater at the moment,
That's fair.
but I do really like the pattern and the yarn, so if it knits up super nice, then I may do that in the future.
Absolutely. I have no problems being your test guinea pig. None at all.
So
What's the other one that starts early July? Oh, that's the Find Your Fade Summer Knit Along with Woolsey Wool.
I was about to say, after I just said that I'm bad at knit-alongs,
Yep.
I wanted to do the Find Your Fade anyway, so hey, now it's part of a knit-along.
Works for me. I'm going to do it. I've wanted to do it for a while, so.
So that's
What's
a thing
the
that we're
official
doing.
name from the Woolsey Wool one? It's
Faded Summer Knit-along.
Faded Summer Knit Along.
And you can do the Find Your Fade shawl, the Free Your Fade shawlette, the Sew Faded sweater, or the Sew Faded pint size, which is the kid size sweater.
It's kind of amusing. We're both doing the Find Your Fade shawl.
Yep.
Which is another yet not small fingering weight shawl.
Yep. Giant fingering weight shawls.
We have till the 31st of August for that one.
We do.
So, do it up good, make it look pretty, and enter it in for a draw. Because draws, why not? And mostly I really want to do that shawl, so now I have the perfect excuse to do it.
I just can't believe I found such a perfect use for
gosh.
all my travel yarn.
It worked together so well, it was freaky.
Oh,
Absolutely
amazing.
freaky.
And then that last skein of yarn and just matched everything.
It did. No, it turned out
I
so
can't
well.
believe it.
I can't. I'm so happy we were able to find
Yarn
that for you
from
at Woolsey Wool.
2 continents and 3 countries? 4 countries.
4 countries.
4 countries.
Yeah, that's an impressive overlay of yarn. Ah, so good. I'm so happy we were able to find something, and now you have a use for them, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Yee,
Oh, I'm so excited.
exciting. So those are coming up shortly, and we'll get started, and then everybody gets to hear me go, oh, and I've made so much progress, and watch Diana go, bah!
Uh-huh.
Oh, heavens.
The last fibre thing that we're doing this year so
yes.
far is the Manitoba Fibre Festival in September 15th and 16th.
Spend some money.
Yep. Gonna go spend all the fibre money.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be so good. Cloud9 Fiberworks is going to be there. Oh man, her yarn.
Hillary's Magical Yarn Emporium.
Yep.
Yarnorium.
Oh, words done. I don't write or speak for a living. No, there's gonna be so many good people.
And local alpaca farms. There's like 6 local alpaca farms.
So much stuff. I am super stoked. I'm so excited for this. This is going to be great. I'm trying to convince my sibling to take us both days.
I know my mom will come at least one day.
Well, I'm saving up a lot of babysitting hours.
Ah.
So I'm going to cash in some babysitting hours for use of her vehicle and trunk.
I see the wisdom.
She's a part-time knitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she would enjoy the Fibre Festival. So, that's my plan. Unless one of the knit girls is free to help drive my poor visually impaired butt around.
I suppose I could potentially also borrow a car.
Oh, I suppose that's true too. It never occurs to me.
Just because I don't have a car doesn't mean I can't drive a car.
It's true. You can drive a car. It's a thing you can do. So there's that. But yeah, that is for the moment the last fiber thing we're participating in, or at least that's far enough away. I don't think we need to mention any of the other ones we're thinking about right now.
Yeah, we'll keep it to this year for now.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What non-fibery things are we just going to take fiber to?
Non-fiber events, we have Icon, which is the local anime convention, coming up July 21st to 23rd.
We're just going to take our fiber with us.
Oh yes, there will absolutely be knitting breaks at Icon.
Mm-hmm.
That runs until the 23rd. On the 23rd, I get on an airplane to go to Vegas.
I go home to nap.
For a week. of cybersecurity conferences.
There'll be time for knitting breaks in there, too.
Yes, there will be much plain knitting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm potentially rooming with a knitter. So I might see if I can get some sound bites or like a little interviewee thing or something that we can splice into a podcast when I get back.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah, so
I'd be all game for that. That'd be
I'm really excited to meet this person. She sounds like a cool person.
Excellent. And then I know right after your first cybersecurity thing, you have another cybersecurity thing.
Yeah, so there's B-Sides and for July 25th and 26th. And then DEF CON is the 27th to the 30th. And it's... I don't even know how to explain what DEF CON... DEF CON doesn't sound real to me. It just sounds so amazing, it doesn't sound real.
Well, then why don't we wait till you go and come back and we can have a fancy recap?
I'm gonna need an entire hour to recap, I think.
On your Twitch stream.
That's a fantastic idea.
Just had that thought right now. Almost as good as your shower thought. I have the best thoughts in the shower, let's be honest.
Need to get you some of those bathtub crayons.
Yes, except I would just end up doodling all over my shower walls because I like to doodle in crayon. I am approximately 8 years old.
Crayons are great.
Oh, my niece had them for the longest time. She loves them, still loves them. She's 10.
Crayons are awesome.
Yeah, so good. She especially loves the bathtub crayons.
Anyway, so B-Sides and DEF CON.
Those are totally happening. Super stoked.
And then in October, our local Comic-Con is happening. The Central Canada Comic-Con, or C4.
There's totally going to be time for knitting in there.
Absolutely knitting time in there.
Ooh. Amongst all the shopping and the stuffing.
That's also going to be cause for me to learn how to sew, because I'm going to try to sew a steampunk Rapunzel costume.
Sure. I said I'm willing to teach you. This is not the problem.
Yep. I just need to actually do it. I need to crack open a pattern and sew some not straight lines.
We need to start with some basics.
I have that pajama pants pattern.
You do, and that is just not basic enough. That should give you a nice challenge to start with, and I can come here and I can help. That's not a problem.
And I mean, I have YouTube at my disposal too.
You do.
So.
There's a lot of amazing people who can teach you how to sew things.
So there will be so little time coming up as I run out of time. It'll be
it's so apt
a
and we didn't even
horrendously
plan it
apt
that way.
segment title. I know it's going to come out that way.
I'm going to try to do something a little more relaxed and not be quite so pressured. So theoretically I start my costuming for C4 at the end of July and into August. Theoretically. Though I know I'll lose a bit of time in August because it's my mom's birthday in August. I'll have to go visit and do stuff.
That's exciting.
Because it's my mommy.
Very important.
Mm-hmm. But those are all of our events as of now.
As of now.
Though we should put out, if there is an event or knit along you think I might enjoy, please forward me the information on our Ravelry group.
I like to go to things and knit at places. I'm not good at this knitting along. Don't forward me knit along stuff.
Oh,
forward me places to go.
Forward me places. Yes, absolutely. All the stuff. Need to do more stuff.
I like to travel.
Yeah, why not?
As
Next year.
By my yarn from 4 countries.
Next year. That's the plan. We're going to go do some of those knitting retreats next year.
I would love to.
I think we need to do it. I think it needs to happen, guys. More book reviews.
More book review.
More book review of...
Curls 2! By Hunter Hammerson. Versatile wearable wraps to knit at any gauge.
We bought the first one, so clearly we were going to pick up the second one.
Had to have the second one. This retails in the US, I assume, for $21.95.
I don't remember how much we paid for them.
I don't know. We bought it off the internet. I don't know what currency we were even paying in.
We bought it from Book Depository.
Still don't know what country that was in.
America? I know they delivered to Canada, but I don't know if they have a thing in Canada. Questions to ask the internet. So, I, if you remember, was absolutely ape-gog about the first book.
Sorry, ape-gog?
Ape-gog. That's going to be my new so enthusiastic I don't have English for it word. You haven't noticed, I make up words all the time.
Alright. It's a very descriptive sort of a word.
It is.
It's 2 words.
I don't think it's, let me say 2 words. I don't think it's that far off the mark. Like, I was really into that first book.
Yes, you have stolen that first book.
I totally said yoink, and away it went with me. I have already copied out this first 6 patterns, found the first 6 skeins of yarn, and I'm ready to cast on.
Do you have that many pairs of needles?
No.
Okay.
The only reason it's currently not sitting on a set of needles is because I need more size 4mm needles.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 sets of 4mm needles, and they're both currently in use. So, that's not going to work. Need to buy more needles. Not finished stuff, buy more needles.
Buy more needles.
Buy more needles.
Yeah.
So, I am currently held up by that. But, having said that, we're here to talk about the second incarnation of the Curls book by Hunter Hammerson.
Which is 14 new curl patterns.
It is 14 new curl patterns. It's got the same basic layout as the first one, so it goes over the anatomy of a curl, what they're going to go over, how they're structured the book. They've got wonderfully laid out instructions. It's very clear, it's all well written, the charts are wonderful. I've increased the size of the charts because I scan it into my computer and I increase the font size, but that's a vision thing. I think that's strictly just me. I don't think that has to do with anybody else. I think that's just me. So, you have your usual warnings. It is charts. There are no row by row.
Nope, no row by row. It is charts. It is kind of 2 charts. There's like the overall, this is the plan, and then there's like the plan for the layout of the shawl, and then there's the more specific charts.
Yeah. Which I like because they stuck to a similar theme, so you don't have that jarring look between written instructions and picture instructions. It's
all just
all
pictures.
The way. Yeah. No, I think it works really well. So, I liked the book.
Yes.
I'm not going to say I didn't like the book. I really liked the book. Did I like it as much as the first one? I don't feel the need to knit my way through this one, so I'm going to go with no. But I still really liked the book.
I'd like to say the colors in the samples in this book are more muted than the first book.
That's true, they are.
And I think they are less lacy and feminine.
They are, actually, when you think about it.
There's a couple in here that, in the right color, I could totally see a guy wearing.
Oh, I could totally see Mr. B wearing 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, like,
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Either this first one, which is called... First one is called Mendacity, which looks like a sort of a drop stitch lace, but it's like very unisex sort of a lace.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea and a really good thing to mention, that it is quite unisex.
Subterfuge is the other one that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Because it's just kind of diagonal lines.
I think that's perfect. A wonderful call on that. That hadn't occurred to me.
So the first one, Curls 1 was distinctly more feminine. This one, I think, if with the right yarn, it could totally, some stylish men could totally wear these.
Oh, absolutely. So, shall we talk about the ones we liked?
All of them.
Okay, I was a little choosier.
I like all of them.
Okay. I didn't heart the entire book like I did last time. I did heart a fair bit, but I didn't heart the entire book.
I just wrote down heart.
Heart? All the heart?
Heart.
All the heart?
And, like, none of them... One of them leapt out at me as, I have yarn that my mom actually bought for the purpose of making her something, and it would look really good as this.
Oh.
That was the... I will find it. Let me see. Because, of course, I didn't write it down. Where's that lace? It was a lacy one. Prevarication.
Oh. No, you're right.
It's even shown in a lace weight, so it just leapt out as being perfect for that ball of yarn that my mom bought like 3 years ago.
Well, at least you're using. The first one that I liked was the Falsify one. Falsity one? Falsity one.
Falsity.
I don't know what it was about this book, but all the patterns that caught my eye had interesting edging detail.
Ah, okay.
All of them. Pattern, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be liking it. But it was something about the edge detail that either caught my attention or didn't catch my attention. And for all the patterns I liked, edging detail is in my notes.
Okay.
Which tells me it was just something about it caught my eye. Pardon the cough. These allergies. Ugh. Now, I would do that in a different color, but again, we were talking about the muted tones in the color, whereas for me, I have a tendency to go to a bit more vibrant and bold colors. So, I don't have a problem seeing around that. But that detailing is beautiful.
It is well done.
I know. So good. You like the whole thing, so I'm just going to list the other ones that
Yeah.
I liked.
I've said my thing about the one thing in particular.
There's the Provocations.
Yes, that was the one that I mentioned.
Yeah. That's the cobweb-like lace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was... Yeah.
The chart for that isn't even that ridiculous.
No, it's decent. And I keep thinking, again, in that pumpkin orange I always want to knit in.
That's very... I have a coppery variation on pumpkin orange.
Yeah.
That I want to knit this in.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I would do a copper or even a super deep ruby red for, like, my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would look good on her. Though, I'm not gonna lie, these are things I want to knit for myself. It's me all the way! There's Equivocation.
Flip, flip, flip.
Because cables! I didn't like all the cables, but I liked that cable.
Oh my goodness, I can't find the thing. Cables. There we go. Yes. Cables.
Cables. Jocelyn kind of cables.
Yep.
Yeah. Big, fluffy, done in like a worsted or even a bulky.
Yeah.
And double it up and just do 2 skeins of bulky weight. Just to make it bigger and that much more kapowy in the face.
That would be very large.
Yeah, and it would just be amazing.
I feel like that would be amazingly trendy.
Ugh.
Having giant bulky weight cables.
Wouldn't it? It'd be
and
so
that'd be
cool.
so warm.
I know. Again, like on theater night, on symphony night,
Oh yeah.
on the night when we're going down to the after dark and gaming in the evening. Like there's so many calls for me to wear trendy yarn scarves.
Yep.
And a trendy yarn curl, done. Also, knit up super fast.
Oh yeah.
I may be regretting all of my fingering weight choices in my life recently.
We're stuck with them now.
I am, and I love them, and I will never not knit in fingering weight. Well, I'll knit in fingering weight as long as I can. So, the next one is Artifice.
I also like this one.
Did you check out that edge detailing?
I was just looking at that now that you pointed it out to me.
I pointed out the edge detailing.
I've been looking at the main patterns and like how it drapes and stuff.
The main patterns and drape are all beautiful.
But now that you're pointing out the edge detailing, yes.
It's for whatever reason I bypassed the beautiful laces and the beautiful patterns and the drape, and just my focus was solely on detail work this time around.
I was thinking for when I go to Vegas for all my cybersecurity stuff, I'm obviously going to have to buy some yarn while I'm there.
Yep. Trust me, I'm kind of hoping a skein comes home for me.
I have a couple of downtime days, so I'll venture off the strip and find a yarn store.
Absolutely.
But whatever I get there,
Mm-hmm.
just based on pattern names, I might have to knit Artifice with the yarn that I got at a cybersecurity conference.
I think yes.
I think maybe.
I think that might have to happen. The next one I liked was Cozenage. Cozenage.
Do you mean Zed? We are Canadian.
Sure.
Yes, I also really like this one.
The honeycomb detailing.
I feel like that would be amazing with some hand-painted yarn.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like,
break up the color pooling.
We're going to the Fibre Festival in September. Would that not be the perfect place to hunt for a hand-painted yarn?
Absolutely.
And make that bad boy.
Yes.
Oh, so stoked. But yeah, it was beautiful. And again,
I think this is another one. If you did it in a color like it's shown here in the book, like a relatively solid thing, you could totally do that for a guy.
a guy would wear it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Trendy
You
hipster guy?
You would sell it as a scarf.
Yeah.
Wouldn't make it fancy. It's a curl. No, it's a scarf. You
It's a
just wear
scarf.
it this way. I think that would work fine. I mean, if the guy didn't care, then yeah, you could say what it was specifically. But for some guys, it matters. That's okay. For some girls, these things matter too. It goes both ways. But I'm thinking definitely at the Fibre Festival, I got to keep a hunt out to find a speckled, hand-painted, or lightly variegated yarn that will fit that pattern really well. But not in the yarn that Mr. B magically breaks by walking in the room.
No.
Don't let me buy that yarn.
I will not let you buy that yarn.
That would be bad.
Which, for audio records, is
We've never mentioned it on the podcast before.
it is super bulky, loosely twisted single ply alpaca.
It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn, but for whatever reason, the moment Mr. B thought about that yarn or was in the room with that yarn,
It would just fall apart in my hands.
it would just she couldn't keep it together to save her soul, and the moment he was gone, it was fine.
Couldn't break it to save my soul. It was
So it's
amazing.
It's the Mr. B cursed yarn.
Yeah,
and as I am
so-
dating Mr. B, I cannot own that yarn. He's around a lot. That's a bad idea.
No.
Yeah.
So you can't get that yarn. You can
Can't-
get different yarn.
There's a lot to choose from,
There
so I got options. I just can't get that yarn, and that's fine. The other one I liked, I'm down to my last two. So I liked the chickenry? Chicanery.
Yep, that's chicanery.
Chicanery?
I don't know what that word means.
I would have to look it up.
Okay, Google. Define chicanery. See if I'm saying it right. Oh, I did.
Chicanery, the use of trickery to achieve a political, financial, or legal purpose.
Huh.
There you go.
Well, then immediately it has to be in a total green color.
I'm making a face. What?
Money, green.
Ah, money, green. Yes. Our money isn't green.
Okay, most of the world has green money.
America has green money. We have pretty purple and red and pink money.
We do, but I also think greed, I think money, and you
Okay.
associate greed with greens and golds and that, because metals and stuff.
Okay.
So maybe a nice sparkly metal.
Ooh.
That would be pretty.
Some sparkle in that?
Oh,
Yeah.
on a sparkle base?
Yeah.
There you go. Thinking on the podcast. Again, look at the amazing thoughts I have after my bedtime, guys. It's stunning. I loved the lace work and in the pattern itself. And it just has this beautiful, beautiful drape to it. And I was just like, yes.
It's lovely.
That would look really good on me. I need to make that.
Yep.
Yep.
Agreed.
And then the last one is fakery.
Again with the edges?
Again with the edges.
It has some really nice edges.
Guys,
I
there's
like
some
the,
beautiful edge detailing on some
I
of
like
these
the
pearls.
featheriness to it.
Yeah, it's just different enough. It stands out from the other patterns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you tell somebody, oh, I made a curl, they're like, oh, then curls, and you describe it, you end up using the same, 5 words because they're just that beautiful over and over again. By having something that's just a little different, it gives you another descriptor to use. And so necessary when you have so many just really well done patterns all in one book. It's a thing. But no, I super enjoyed. I'm still glad we bought that book. I don't think I'm going to knit my way through it like I am the first one, but I'm definitely knitting a lot of the patterns.
Well, I will knit my way through this one, mostly.
Sure.
Except for the cables.
That's fine.
And you can knit your way through the first one, and then we'll switch.
Yep, you betcha. So, I thought that one was more wintry.
Oh.
Like it would lend itself more to the
Yeah.
cotton DK weights.
Yeah.
Or not cotton DK weights, and the wool with a bit more tooth.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the patterns are less open and lacy than in the first book.
They are. I'm
is-
reading my notes if you can tell.
It's more, yeah, more keep the chill out rather than just a thing that looks pretty.
I know, which is really cool. But yeah, no, overall, book-wise, super glad we got those books.
Solid purchases, both of them.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Buy them. Buy them now. We need to get an Amazon affiliate link.
why are you looking at me? You do the computery stuff. She's looking at me while she says this in my
Well, it was
brain's
more like, do you agree with me?
Sure, I agree with you 100%. I think an
Okay.
Amazon affiliate link would be absolutely wonderful. I don't do the computery things
I will look into that.
ever. You're like, oh, and I linked this and I fixed this, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a history major.
I will make a note. I'm
guys.
making a note of it right now. Amazon affiliates link.
If I can remember to use Snapchat correctly, we are so ahead of the game here, guys.
There.
Oh my goodness.
It's getting late.
It is. That's it. That's the end. We've reached the finale. We have made it through another podcast. Woo! Diana, my dear, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest as Northern Knits Podcast. Our blog with all our show notes is at northernknitspodcast.com. You can also email us at northernknitspodcast@gmail.com. Jocelyn, where on the internet can you be found?
I exist on the interwebs as Amber Dragon, spelled Dragun. And when I say the internets, I mean everywhere. No, not everywhere, but I'm in most places on the internet. I am most of our social media, so if you get a reply on Ravelry or Facebook or Instagram, most of the time it's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the nature of my business and what I do. When I'm home more often, I've got a bit more free time, so it pops up, I can deal with it right away. So that works. I run the Pinterest account.
Yep.
Yep.
It's all yours.
It's all me, and I run my own Pinterest, so sometimes that's interesting. Crossover. It's like, you might like this. I'm like, not on this one, I won't. But my most active places are Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. That's where I spend most of my time.
All right.
And my blogs, but I have 3 of those. You'll find me. It's not hard.
I can be found on Instagram and Twitch as Firewater and Fibre, Fiber, the American way, despite being in Canada. Sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry, eh?
Sorry.
And I can be found on Ravelry as Wool-Rat. And I stream Virtual Knit Night on most Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/firewaterandfiber.
Which is exciting. And that's it, and that's all. Happy birthday to Canada, because it'll be getting older before we're back. And if you're Canadian, enjoy your Canada Day celebrations. Hope you get out and get a chance, even if your celebrations are barbecuing in the backyard. It
Celebration to
still
me.
Counts.
Totally counts.
Totally counts. Well, until next week, I'm Jocelyn,
And I'm Diana.
saying no matter where your week takes you,
Don't forget to knit.
Ooh, hey, wait a minute. That's right, I'm on my second can. Feel free to judge me.
No judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Zero judgment. I would also
Oh my god,
potentially drink a second can.
you were totally more than welcome to drink a second can.
Probably shouldn't drink a second can.
Alright, let's rotate that to you.
Alright, I'll shuffle my papers over so that I'm not... and I will put my drink down on top of all the paper here so it doesn't clink.
Oh, that is a smart move, ma'am. A smart move. I might end up moving some papers over. Okay, let me get this party started.
Yeah.
Let's start a row with a new color change and talk at the same time. I can do this.
Well, you do begin the intro.
I do. And one day we'll have an intro song. Woohoo!
Do intro song.